How do I know that I am spiritually in the practice I'm working? The very gentle answer is you don't have the comparison anymore. Simple as that. Comparison means that you're walking on the street, you meet someone, you suddenly see that I am not fair as that person, I don't have the same job as that person, or that person said this, that. There is no superiority or inferiority to the comparison. As far as the comparison lives, even among the teachings that you have sent me, lots of I follow this, I follow that. That does not happen. Because as far as the comparison is there, the ego still exists. Even on a spiritual level, in a content, Yoda is there to join. So there is a part of you're still in that space. So what's really important is stop the comparison when a thought arises. And also some of you have asked, what is enlightenment? And I would like to know about enlightenment. Knowing something from information doesn't create the space of enlightenment, because the experiences is there, experiencer is there, but no longer the experiencer and experience merge into one another through this practice of yoga, practice of meditation, practice of walking, whatever you're doing, and you're conscious of every moment, and no longer you need to work it out. It has worked it out, and no longer the separation is there. So try to emphasize on this level today through the practice, and come into that space of the practice very gently through the techniques, and drop the techniques also when you're in that space. You can't hold on to the tools constantly. So whether you're doing breathing and monitoring the breath, when you are in that space, you are that space. You no longer have to know that I have to keep doing this to be in that space. Not really. So whatever the techniques you're using, whether it's a mantra, whether it's a posture, let it all move into that space. Okay, now to begin the class, very gently, bring your intention into this class and take a moment to let go of the condition of being superiority to a thought or inferiority to a thought, and stop that comparison for a while and bring that intention to create space between that thought and the observation. So you are no longer the thought, you are no longer the action that comes out of those random thoughts. Intentionally, that you have one intention to create space and take a break from that self which want to develop spirituality, develop this coming out of a place of I don't know anything and I want to know everything is also not the right space. Just creating that space. Now very gently take a deep breath into that body, that this very moment the vessel or whatever is holding, creating that space, and very gently release the tension that you are holding. You're not forcing a special level of seating for this space. Even though you're aware of that, you're not struggling. When things are not struggling, they create the flow of space. Your spine automatically with that breath it erects. Your chest automatically gets open. Your heart elevates. Now I would move that camera towards Darren so that very gently you can focus if you need to focus on the posture. If you need to focus on something in particular for your own benefit. But there is a space beyond the benefit of the body, beyond the benefit of the mind. There is a space that you're coming from is quite content, quite blissful. So out of that place only you're going to take your next moment. So that nothing is forced. So you all are free individuals. So you don't have to come into a space of, I need to be with the rest of the people need to change what I to make me happy, this world to be a better place. Nothing like that. World will be a better place when you are in a better place of understanding and realization. Out of that, you might take action, and that is the righteous place. So let's take a moment from all these things that are going on the world, going on the systems, going on in the political world, in the medical world, and very gently coming into that space of creating that space. So take a deep breath in. Now very gently, shoulders shrug and breathe out and roll the shoulders back, but engage the pelvic flow to opening up, creating that energy and creating that nerves to be spread so that it can work on that energy. One more time, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, and massage your back of the skull. Very gently releasing the tension on the back of the skull. Now still shrugging up, chin to the chest, and drop the shoulders, breathe out, and allow that back of the neck very gently to relax. Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back. And while you're tilting the head back, open the mouth widely and close 3 times, very gently opening that space and releasing the tension on the jaw, the throat. Very gently coming chin to the chest, release. Now very gently coming into a place of a seated Garudasana, left arm on the top. Very gently opening up that space, opening up the back. Very gently. Very gently. Increase that suppleness of your spine, the back, shoulder blades, stretch the muscles along with your back. Now very gently breathe out to a seated cat from that posture. Very gently to keep that spine flexible for the day. It's important to maintain that energy channel. Your back, neck, your arms, improve that circulation. Now breathing into a gentle cow from that posture, pushing the elbows up a little bit more and releasing that tension of a hunchback. Now very gently coming into the center and twist the spine to the left. Very gently opening up that arms, releasing the tension. Now very gently take a deep breath in, coming back into the center. Inhale. Or very gently onto the other side, onto the Garudasana. Right on the top. Very gently coming into that wonderful warm-up. Perhaps you have never felt it. Moving your spine from that energy of stagnation. Now take a deep breath in, elbows pushed up and looking up into a gentle cow. Breathe out to a gentle cat. Tailbone subtly tucked in. The head faces downward to create an extension in the back of the neck. Now breathing in, push the belly into the front, chest open. Arch your back and exhale further as you pull your navel up towards the spine. Imagine you are almost coming into that space. Neutral spine, breathing in, very gently twisting the spine to the other side, onto the right. Shoulders relax and very gently chest open, releasing that tension. Very gently finding that space for the kidneys to breathe, kidneys to be more buoyant. Breathing in back to the center, shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently take that deep breath in, clench and unclench your hands, and release any tension that you're holding. Relaxing the body, increase the circulation, and it allows you to relieve the fatigue. So you may find that just bringing this awareness will support and allows you to let go and relax into the space more. Shoulders relax and chest open. Very gently, you're moving into the space of the knees and coming into a gentle cat. Onto the floor, roll onto the knees, hands onto the floor. Very gently give a rotation to the hips and see what is this space is for you. Just work it out that mind is not going into the polarity of this or that, because that polarity is still in the space of the ego. Now give a good rotation to the hips and very gently release any tension that bound to compare yourself with others. That release in that comparison. And what you're ready to let go or drop. What is you're releasing at this very moment in that body is holding into this comparison. Or very gently stretch the spine into the back, palms facing up. Very gently breathing into this space. And very gently releasing this fiction that created out of this constant comparison. So suddenly you don't feel that you need to do this or do that, because now the mind is quite conscious about the comparison. Whether you're in this or whether you're in that, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whether you're black or white, all this, whether you're good or bad, it's nothing to do with the practice and the realization of the practice. Because your mind is not suffering from the inferiority complex, superiority complex. Now, very gently, you're in that space of meditation without forcing it, because you have just found that what creates comparison is because there is an identity. The shadow is have grown. So most of us constantly look into the social media, looking into the news to compare ourselves, so we are nourished by the comparison continuously. So we create an idea about ourselves. So not that it's always inferiority. Out of this conditioning, the outcome will gently become that, oh, I am superior than that, or I am inferior than that. Out of this, all this social media that has created, oh, somebody is beautiful, somebody is bigger, somebody is rich, and either you are comparing yourself to be that, or somebody is more spiritual, or somebody is more famous, or somebody is more successful. When you come into this realization that you are no longer in the polarity of the superiority or the inferiority, very gently, palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest onto the floor. And very gently drop the belly, soften the belly. Very gently take a deep breath in. Very gently coming into the Bhujangasana, a gentle level of a gentle cobra. Very gently, start very gently so that you can give some amazing energy to the back, to the spine, back of the neck, and it opens up the chest a bit more. And it gives enormous level of energy to have that connection to the spine. Stimulate that nervous system. Shoulders relaxed. Now very gently overlooking onto the left side. Very gently do as a stretch. Breathing in back to the center. Onto the other side. Back to the center. And exhale. Gradually roll down. Releasing the tension. Now very gently take a deep breath in and arms stretch onto the floor into the back. Palms facing down under the hips. Now we are going to do the half locust or the Shalabhasana. Now very gently lie down on your stomach with your chin resting on the floor. Legs are slightly apart. Your arms alongside your body, palms down. Now in this posture, engage your abdominal muscle capacity onto about 10 to 20%. Extend your left big toe towards the wall behind you, and then very gently your left leg lift up 2 inches off the floor. Keep the top of the left thigh bone pressing onto the floor. So the left hip is not above the right hip. Focus on this stretching very gently and extend from the hip socket. With your legs still raised, now take about good 6 deep cycles of breath while you're there, or exhale and you can slowly lower it and still extend the leg. This tones and strengthen your lower back, because most of you are writing about lower backs, the buttocks, back of the thigh. It also helps relieve the back of the posture problem, stretches the hip flexors, and it's energized the nervous system. And it increases the circulation and improves your concentration. Now repeat with the same leg one more time. If you're on the floor, take a deep breath in, stretch, and lift down. Try not to tilt the hip. Breathe in normally. Now relax onto the floor. And if you need to stretch your head onto a side and release any tension that has occurred through this posture in the back of the neck, please do that. Now very gently, let's move on to the other side. So we try to do 2 repetitions. When you're ready, you can attend into the pose. You can extend your breathing, whatever the cycle you choose to. So right leg. Be careful of not to tilt that right hip too high. And when you feel that, you can relax and repeat that posture again. And the posture is a half locust, Ardha Shalabhasana. When you're ready, relax and let go. Relax the neck and the head onto a side, which is working for you. Now very gently take a deep breath on, palms onto the chest level. And we are coming from this into an upward facing dog, very gently to Urdhava Mukhasana. Let the posture keeps your back flexible, stimulate the nerves, and strengthen the arms and the wrist, and also relieve that back pain. And stretch out the front of the body. Inhale and push up with a bit more. Arms using to raise your head and shoulder and chest. And engage the tighten your abdominal and thigh muscle. If possible, lift your knees off the floor without comparison to your lower back. No compromising on the lower back. Now relax onto the floor. You can come down to the knees and stretch the spine back, or you can relax until the hips. If there's any discomfort in your lower back, and very gently onto the knees and stretch the spine onto that space of relaxing. Most of you will go to the child pose or stretch the arms into the front and very gently relax us into the back of the neck and allow that spine to stretch. And child pose can also massage the abdominal organs, and it can promote the sense of security and nurturing. So child pose is also known in Sanskrit as Garbhasana, Balasana. Kneel your buttocks onto near your heels, legs slightly apart. Bend from the hips forward and down, folding your upper body into your thighs, and allow your forehead to rest on the floor or on a folded blanket. Place your arms on the floor next to your legs. Palms are up. If you wish, you can also extend your arms onto the floor into the front of your, or palms down with the elbows relaxed. Let your shoulders round and allow that breath deeply and relax. Remain in the posture for a couple of minutes. Raise your upper body when you need to return to a kneeling position. But until then, very gently relaxing into the pose and very gently. These are the moments that you can observe the mind, the superiority complex, inferiority complex. And very gently releasing the obsession with the ego. Because the more you are obsessed with your identity, you'll remain close to anything that is superior or inferior. So you're always looking from this to that and that to this. So we have come into places like this. Sometimes if we're inferior to someone, it gives a greater nourishment to people to feel great about themselves. Or it's the opposite. So you can see in this right now in the world, you can see this is happening, which makes people to feel superior and some are feeling inferior. So most of us are deceiving ourselves. So out of this place, if we build up anything, it is going to tend to collapse any moment. Because constantly people suffer from anxiety because of these qualities of comparison. And you can see on teachings of Jesus, he says, don't make your houses on the sand, find a rock. These both comparisons are shadows of the ego, two sides of the ego. Superior person is deep down, carries the inferiority complex, and the person who suffers from the inferiority complex deep down carries a superiority complex and wants to be superior. When I say a person, I'm saying the tricks of the mind. Now very gently take a deep breath in. Wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. Shoulders relax and chest is open. This is a great posture to relax and release the tension and give that space for the knees, the hips to breathe. It's also a great position just to release that comparison. And you can see the world at the moment. The more the collective consciousness is in the inferiority complex, the world is trying to reach on a higher and a higher power post to prove to others. So the practice is bringing that mysticism into a great space to understand the whole foolishness about this, the whole game of this ego. So let you see that comparison is false, meaningless, and let us drop these comparing. And when you moment that you take to drop it, you are simply yourself, neither superior nor inferior. You have just become to yourself. Very gently, shoulders relax and chest open. And very gently stretch the neck to the right. Neck to the left. Back to the center into the mysticism. So now you have your own light, your own space, your own being, and you're utterly content within yourself without the comparison. Because there's nothing to be discontented. And you're no longer inviting your ego, because ego only comes if there's comparison. Ego feeds on comparison. So now out of this space, you can take a decision, whatever you need. Now very gently take a deep breath in, shoulders relax, and very gently stretch the legs into the front. Now very gently, take a deep breath in, release the tension of the leg, rotation to the feet, rotation and pointing the feet into the front and into the back, very gently. Now very gently drop the elbows onto the floor into the back. And open up the throat for a few seconds. Now very gently chin to the chest and roll the head back onto the floor. Now very gently drop the whole body onto the floor. Now take a moment, and we are coming into the Apanasana, a knee hug. Very gently, effective to release the lower back. So lying on your back, head resting comfortably on the floor. Make sure your chin is not higher than your forehead. Strain your neck. So place folded blanket or a towel under your head if you need it. Bend both knees and bring them to your chest. Now take a deep breath in and wrap your arms around both shins. Take a moment, grasping your forearms or wrists. Lightly squeeze your legs. Gently roll from side to side, massaging your lower back. Your head is resting comfortably on the floor and allow it to move in the same direction as the body. Now take a deep breath in. Come back to the center and relax and let go of the knees, the hips, the thighs. Now very gently lie on your back and make sure your chin is not higher than your forehead again. Now very gently bring that left knee onto the chest. Very gently holding onto that knee. Exhale, lower back into the floor, keeping your entire and stretch that other leg onto the floor. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, breath out, change the sides. This warm-up will give the benefits as the knee hug, but it's more energetic. So it tones the abdominal muscle and it strengthens the neck muscle, which you can gradually work towards it. Now take a deep breath in and release. Now very gently invite the left knee back again into the chest. Now take a deep breath in and breath out, forehead onto the knee without tilting the hips. Without tilting the hips or the shoulders. And relax. Arms stretched into the back. Feet pointing into the front. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Breath out, moving to the other side. Bringing the other knee to the chest. And hold that space first. Then take a deep breath in and breath out, forehead reaching up. Allow this to work on your digestion, the waistline, the abdominals, along with the torso. Breathing in and relax. Now take a deep breath in, bring both knees to the chest. Now extend your arms to each side in a T position, very gently, palms turned up. Inhale, and on an exhalation, bring your legs 3 to 5 inches to the right side while turning your head slowly onto the left side, and keep your legs close together. Don't allow the sides of the legs to touch the floor. Keep your abdominal muscle and the muscles along with the side of your body and engage. And inhale and use your inhalation to help the raise your knees and head back to the center. Exhale in a controlled manner. Even I don't like the word of it. Let your knees go to the right while your head turns onto the left again. And don't let your legs touch the floor. Breathing in back to the center. Knees to the chest and grab them again. Lock onto the toes. Lock onto the toes very gently and stretch the legs up. Take a deep breath in. Feet wide apart. If feet wide apart is harder, and then you can very gently bend the knees and open up very gently. Keep your bum on the floor and let it not raise up too much. Sole of the feet looking up. Very gently, you're opening up the body today. Now, very gently, sole of the feet together, knees wide apart. And very gently opening up the hips, opening up the knees. Now, very gently bringing the knees to the chest. Completely breathe out. Rock the spine very gently. And coming into a seated posture. Shoulders relaxed. Just open. Now take a deep breath in and very gently breathe out, twisting the spine to the left side. Shoulders relax, just open. Shoulders relax and just open. Breathing in back to the center. Change the leg formation. And very gently twisting the spine to the other side. Stomach pulled in. Lift up the torso. Spine engaged. Belly slightly pulled in, opening up that chest. Back to the center. Now very gently, we're going to do a sitting forward bend. Paschimottanasana. So very gently stretch the legs into the front. You can slightly bend the knees. Pull the bum out. Lean forward and tipping your pelvis towards your thighs. It's very important. If your back is round, sit on a folded blanket or a towel at this very moment. Proper curve in your lower back. Feet should be perpendicular to the legs. Now bend your knees and on an inhalation, reach down and hold on to your shins, ankles, or the ball of the feet. Exhale and begin to straighten your legs. Bring in to support upper body towards your thighs. Your back is straight and your spine is lengthening and your knees slightly bent, slightly bent. Now, whether you want to keep the feet together, it's up to you. Feet apart, it's up to you. Feet mat width apart, it's up to you. Keeping your knees slightly bent to feel the stretch in the lower back. Gently pulling on your into your feet. Exhale, lowering your upper body towards your thighs. And try to relax with each exhalation and allow your chest to sink towards your thighs without rounding you up or to a bolster or to a blanket. If you feel like your back is beginning to round, stop it, look forward. And out of your extended, your upper body is keeping your neck in line with the spine. Breathe rhythmically, do not strain. Now this pose gives you intense stretch to your entire back and hamstring muscles. It will very gently increase the flexibility in the spine and the hips. By hinging at the hips and folding forward, your abdominal organs get a massage well. So it's very good for the digestion. But relax into the pose with the sense of serenity and surrender. Allowing your flexibility to increase gradually, like the today's lesson, no comparison. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Shoulders relax and chest open, shoulders relax, shoulders roll back and stretch open. Now very gently bring in the left heel onto the groin and keep the right leg where exactly it is at. Now with your spine comfortably extended, you are unable to maintain a proper curve on the lower back. Sit on a folded blanket and very gently stretch that right leg out. Bend your knee if you need to. Now very gently grasp the sole of your right foot with both hands. So bend the knee if you need to and bring the foot a bit more closer to the mat. And very gently hold on to the right sole of the right foot with both hands. If you cannot do this comfortably, keep your knee bent and grasp your ankle or the shin. And your upper back should be flat. Now very gently inhale and extend your spine out through the crown of your head. Do not stretch to the point of discomfort. Exhale and maintain that extension. Keep breathing, upper back lift up. And flat. So no curving, no curving. If the curving happens, hold on to the knee, under the knee. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now, this pose is important to stretch the back of the legs, lengthen and strengthen the spine and opens the hip. And it increases the circulation of the leg. And it is great for anyone with the hamstring tight muscles who's working on the legs, cycling. So you're stretching out to the side more rather than into the front. Very gently coming back. Now, when you're ready, switch the legs and repeat the stretch on the other side. So the seated leg stretch is very important. So if it's too hard, don't stretch the leg too far onto the left. You can bring it into the mat width apart or the corner of But you might see one side is more flexible. The only problem with this is still some of you are curving the back. The idea is to keep upper body more on a level of angle. Inhale and extend your spine out through the crown of your head. Do not stretch to the point of discomfort. Breathing in back to the center shoulder back. And coming back. With gentle movements towards the posture. Now take a deep breath in, stretch both legs into the front. Both legs are straight on the floor in front of you. If your sitting bones lift off the floor, use a folded blanket to elevate your hips. Now bend your right knee and place the sole of your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Maintain an extension through the spine. Now very gently wrap your left arm around the bent right knee and place your right hand on the floor by your hip or the buttocks. Use your right arm to help to create that extension in the spine. Inhale and press into the right palm. Extend out through the crown of the head. Exhale and engage your abdominal muscles and rotate your upper body very slowly to the right. Now you have to bring your consciousness with each inhalation. You create an extension in your spine. On each exhalation, you engage your abdominal muscle, slowly turning your body a little more to the right without straining. Because Paravita Asana, spinal twist, you can remain extended on this floor, and the rotation on its own axis. This twist stretches the spinal column and connecting the nerves to help you to reduce that stiffness in the neck. Also, it's massage the lower abdominal organs. So this can aid to eliminate that constipation. And when your body turns into the right, and it is said that if you face the future, when you turn the left, you review the past, be open to what has yet to be, feel the sense of gratitude of what has come before. Breathing in very gently, coming back, and very gently after the extension and pose and gratitude, let's work on the other side. Just try to be in that single moment without comparing where there is superiority or where is inferiority, and where is the ego and the source of it all. Shoulders relax, which with each inhale, you're creating a vertical and a horizontal space. So very gently coming into this place is the truth is universal. And if anyone says, pay me, the truth is private, it is just a lie. It is your own creation. If you just live by the truth, you're not a special, because it's the truth. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Shoulders relaxed, just open. Relax into a space, just for a minute silent. Very gently gathering that space onto a space of gratitude and realization. Very gently a moment of reflecting on the notion of that we are not the ones in control. Especially in these inevitable times when we feel lost or confused and don't know which way to turn, or when our best made plans not work, trust that all is as it should be. Take a deep breath in and inhale, repeat silently, Namaha. It is not about me. Exhale and repeat silently, Namaha. All is well. Inhale and repeat silently. There is a greater plan. Namaha. Exhale silently and repeat. Namaha. Faith. As you continue to inhale and exhale, simply repeat Namaha until its meaning fades and its essence is filling up, fills your consciousness. Arms gently raised back to the ground. Om. Palms onto the Namaskar position, Namaha. Gently touch the earth, respect for the elements that we all from space that has manifested into matter. And the matter is in harmony. Gently waking up the spine, palms onto the namaskar position, is coming into the understanding, is comparison to let go. Comparison that creates suffering, inferiority or superiority. Taking a break for this gentle hour from the space of the polarity of the mind, and filling the space by the realization of the mystic.